Look at the person next to you. Not now. In your memory. Someone you trust. You believe they feel things. You believe there's someone in there. But you have never once verified it. Not one time. In your entire life. You've only ever seen the outside. That's the whole problem. That's the entire episode. You wake up every day assuming other people are conscious. You never test the assumption. You couldn't, even if you tried. Here's the setup. You know you're conscious. That part isn't up for debate. You feel this moment happening. Something is here to feel it. That's the one fact you can't be wrong about. Everything else, every other mind, every other person, is a guess. A very good guess. A guess you'd stake your life on. Still a guess. Philosophers have a name for this. The problem of other minds. It sounds academic. It isn't. It's the loneliest sentence in philosophy, dressed up in a calm voice. Think about what you actually have access to. You see a face. You see it move. You see eyes that track you across a room. You hear words come out in an order that sounds like thought. You see someone flinch when they're hurt, cry when they lose something. All of that is behavior. None of that is proof. A being could do every single one of those things. Flinch, cry, speak, remember your birthday, and still have nothing going on inside. No felt experience. No light on. Philosophers call this a zombie. Not the movie kind. A philosophical zombie. Identical to you in every visible way. Same face, same words, same laugh at the same joke. The only difference is invisible and permanent. There's nobody home. And here's the part that should bother you. You would never know. You couldn't build a test for it, not one. Because every test you could design, a question, a scan, a conversation, only measures behavior. You'd get the same result from a conscious person and an empty one. So you don't run the test. You do something else instead. Something faster. Something you don't even notice you're doing. You assume. Your brain has a shortcut for this. It's called theory of mind. It's the machinery that lets you guess what's happening inside someone else's head. You watch a person wince, and your brain quietly says, "That hurts." Not because you saw the hurt. Because you felt something like it, and you're projecting it outward. You're not perceiving their inner life. You're modeling it, using yourself as the template. Every person you've ever known, you built them out of pieces of you. There's a reason this works so well. It feels like proof. Mirror neurons. You've probably heard the term, used badly 100 times online. Here's what they actually do. When you watch someone pick up a cup, a small set of neurons in your brain fires. The same neurons that would fire if you picked it up yourself. Watch someone in pain, and something in you flinches along with them. This is real. It's measured. It's not mystical. But notice what it actually gives you. It gives you a feeling of connection. It does not give you evidence. The warmth you feel when you believe someone understands you, that warmth is generated by your own nervous system. It proves that your brain is running a simulation. It proves nothing about what's happening in theirs. You have spent your whole life mistaking the simulation for the signal. There's an old thought experiment that makes this uncomfortably concrete. Imagine you meet someone new, a stranger, at a party, at work, anywhere. You start talking. They laugh at the right moments. They ask you questions back. They seem in every way present. Now imagine, somehow, you found out they weren't. That behind that face there was nothing, no experience, just very good machinery running very good scripts. Would anything about the conversation have looked different? No, that's the point. It would have looked exactly the same. Which means the conversation you had yesterday with someone you love, you have no way of ruling that out either. You didn't rule it out. You never even checked. You just felt the warmth and moved on. This isn't only a human problem either. Watch a dog when its owner comes home. The tail, the whining, the whole body shaking with what looks unmistakably like joy. You'd bet anything there's someone in there feeling it. Now watch an AI generate a sentence that says it's happy to talk to you. Same shape of behavior, words that sound like warmth. Somewhere between the dog and the machine, you draw a line. Somewhere between the dog and the machine, you draw a line. On one side, something is definitely home. On the other, it's definitely empty. Be honest. You can't point to the exact spot where that line belongs. You just feel more confident about the dog. Confidence isn't the same thing as proof. It never was. Now take it further, because it gets worse before it gets interesting. You can't verify anyone else is conscious right now. Can you verify that you were conscious 5 minutes ago? Not remember. Verify. You have a memory of being aware. A memory is not the experience itself. It's a reconstruction built after the fact, the same way you build other people. The you from 5 minutes ago is gone. What's left is a story your brain is telling the current version of you. You trust that story completely. You've never once demanded proof from it. So if you can't prove your own past self was conscious, only that something is conscious right now, in this exact instant, then the wall between me and everyone else gets a lot thinner than it felt a minute ago. Maybe the only thing you can ever confirm is a single point. Right here. Right now. Everything else, other people, your own past, your own future, is inference, trust, a story that's worked well enough not to question. Most days that's fine. You don't walk around treating strangers like empty machines. You shouldn't. The evidence for their inner life is about as good as evidence gets in a universe that refuses to hand out certainty. But it's worth noticing what you're actually standing on. Not knowledge. Faith. Wearing a lab coat. So here's where that leaves you. Something is looking out through your eyes right now. Of that, you're sure. You assume the same is true behind every other pair of eyes you've ever met. You've built an entire life, an entire species, an entire moral system on an assumption you can never test. Maybe that's the most human thing there is. Not the certainty, the willingness to trust something you can't prove. Every relationship you have ever had was built on that willingness. Every conversation, every apology, every hand you've held. None of it came with a guarantee. You did it anyway. Maybe that's not a flaw in the system. Maybe that's the only way the system was ever going to work. That's it for this one. Try not to think about it too hard on your way to see anyone you love. Or think about it exactly that hard.